Lazy Dots for smart people.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Power Automate Learning Series. Today we are going to learn how to solve a CAPTCHA using Power Automate. And we are going to take CAPTCHAs like this. These are simple CAPTCHAs available in the web. So for the demonstration we are going to use this, and the API which we are going to use is ToCAPTCHA. The ToCAPTCHA provides various services like reCAPTCHA solving, question captcha solving, numeric captcha solving, and many services like that. And we can see that it costs only 0.76 USD for every 1000 captcha. That is very cheap when compared to other captcha solving services. And we can specify the recognition percentage also here. And in the dashboard we can see other options for the recognition. We can check that. We can specify the priorities of parameters, specify whether it is one word or two word, and it's numeric or any other language type specific, and whether it is a numeric captcha or question captcha, like that. We can specify all those things here. So here we are going to use the API key provided by this ToCAPTCHA in this project, and this captcha is going to be solved by this process. Before explaining the flow, I will just demonstrate the process. I am just starting the bot. Now it is running. Now let's wait for the bot to finish the captcha solving process. Yes, now we can see that the bot entered the captcha value and submitted the form, and it is a match. Now let's check the flow. Here we can see one input parameter, that is the API key which we got from the ToCAPTCHA API dashboard, that is used in the API authentication purpose. And next action we are going to do is we are just attaching the web browser which is containing the captcha. For that I have used launch new Chrome action and attaching to a running instance, and it is attached by title. I have selected the required title, and the output will be a browser variable, and we will click on save. And next action is run JavaScript function on web page. Here the API is accepting only base64 string of that image. For that, what we are going to do is we will perform some JavaScript operation on the web page and get the base64 string. Otherwise you can save the image and then convert that to the base64 format. That will also work, but here I am preferring JavaScript function. Here we will pass the browser instance, and we are going to execute the JavaScript function given here. Here in the JavaScript function we can see that the first line states that the element, the captcha image, is accessed by its ID. For that we are using document.getElementById function, and we are passing the captcha image ID here. So the variable img will contain that particular image. To know how to get that image ID, we will just inspect that element in Chrome browser. We can see that the ID is captcha_image. So we will copy this and paste it on the JavaScript function, so we can access that image by that ID. So now the img variable will contain that captcha image. Next thing what we are going to do is we will plot this into a canvas element, and then convert that to a base64 string. Here we can see that the variable canvas contains an element of type canvas, and then we will set its width and height as in the image variable which we got in the previous step. So we will create a canvas with the same height and width of that captcha image. Then we will draw the image which we get by the element ID to that canvas. Actually, why we are plotting that into a canvas is the canvas contains a function to data URL. Actually, that will contain the canvas to a base64 string starting with data :image, then the base64 string. So what we are going to do is we will replace the data :image and then return the value. Then that will contain only the base64 string. And here the outputs generated are the variable result that will contain the base64 string. We can click on save, and then next action is invoke web service. Actually, in this step we are going to pass the base64 string to that toCAPTCHA API. So you can see here we are passing the API key as a parameter to that URL, and these things are specified in the documentation of toCAPTCHA API. You can find that here. I will put a link on the description also. And the method used here is post and accept method as application JSON, content type text plain, and in the request body we will specify the method as base64 and the body as the base64 string which we created now. In the advanced part we have not specified anything extra, and you will get some outputs here. One is web response service header and web service response and status code. Click on save. Next thing we are going to do is we will check the status code of the web service response. Actually, if it is 200, that means the web service worked perfectly and it is successfully posted the captcha image on the API. So we will check whether it is 200 or not. If it is 200, what we are going to do is we will split the response. We can see that the response contains a OK and a number. Actually, the OK indicates the status of the operation and the number indicates the ID. So we will split that using the split text action, and that will return a text list which will contain OK and the ID. So we can use that in the coming steps. We will create a label here that I will explain in the coming steps. Next thing we are going to check is we will check the first item of text list. If it is OK, then that means the posting of captcha to the API is working OK. Then we will move to the next step. Here we are creating a new variable and assigning the second item of list to that variable. This is an optional part. If we want to use the value directly, we can call it like list of 1. That's also fine. This is just a demonstration purpose. And the next step what we are going to do is the invoke web service. Actually, the list second item of the list contains the ID of that job which we posted in the first web service code. So using that ID only we can get the captcha value. In the invoke web service action, we can see that the second web API endpoint here, that is rest.php, and we will pass the API key as a parameter, then action as get, then ID of that job. Here we are using the text list of 1, so that will contains the ID of the job which we submitted in the first invoke web service, and the final parameter is an optional one, JSON equal to 1. If it is 1, it will return a JSON response. If it is 0, then that will return a plain text response. That's all about the URL, and the method here is get, and accept and content types are application XML, and we are not specifying any custom headers or request body. No changes in the advanced part, and here we can see the 3 outputs: web service response header 2, web service response 2, and status code 2. Once the invoke web service action completes its operations, we will get a response in the web service response 2 variable. So if the CAPTCHA is solved, we will get a status 1 and the CAPTCHA output. Otherwise, we will get a string CAPTCHA not ready. So in the next step, we are going to check whether the web service response 2 contains the string CAPTCHA not ready. If it contains CAPTCHA not ready, then we have to retry the steps. That means we have to invoke the web service again, then check whether it is solved or not. We have to repeat that thing multiple times. For that, we will check the string, then put a wait of 5 seconds. Then I have used a goto statement here. In the goto statement, we can specify a label. So here I have specified the label retry. So once the bot reaches this point, that will move the control to that label and repeat the steps below that. So the bot will move to retry label, then again check the status, invoke web service, and again repeat the steps until we get a solved CAPTCHA. That's why I have used this label and goto here. And if we get a matching CAPTCHA output, that is, if we get a status 1 and a request key with the CAPTCHA value, then what we are going to do next is we will convert that JSON output to a custom object. Once we have converted that JSON to a custom object, we can access the value inside those using the keys. If we call JSON as custom object of status, then we will get 1. If we call JSON as custom object of request, then we will get the CAPTCHA value. Here, for entering the CAPTCHA value in the web page, I have used populate text field on web page action, and in the text field I have passed JSON as custom object of request, and that will return the CAPTCHA value from the API. Click on save, and I have already click action to submit the CAPTCHA to that form. That is all about this process. If you have any doubts on this, you can put it on the comment box, and if you need more videos like this, please subscribe to this channel, and thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.